Digital Citizenship Guide: 9 Key Factors You Should Know to Fully Enjoy Your Online Experience. A digital citizen is anybody, like you and I, who uses the internet to engage in some or all facets of modern life, from business to employment to shopping to socializing. This is nearly everybody in the developed world and a substantial portion of the population in developing countries. Good digital citizens familiarize themselves every day with online trends and threats, as well as the devices they use to access the World Wide Web. To make the internet livable and enjoyable for yourself and everybody else, here are 9 things you should pay attention to. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi. I hope you are doing fantastic today. I'm doing marvelous, if you were to ask me. And if you're doing as great as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea. Or coffee. Today we're having a conversation around digital citizenship, right? The ability for every one of us to behave, quote unquote, behave while engaging in online activities, right? So there are 9 key factors you want to pay attention to fully enjoy your online experience and make everybody else's experience as enjoyable. Now, number 1, your digital personality and reputation. Your digital personality and reputation revolves around your social media profiles, whether you have a website, whether you have a personal blog or a business blog, your personal data archive, and also when you Google yourself, the results on the first 10 pages. In other words, this basically talks about you as a citizen, as a private citizen, but talks about you online. You need to become aware of your digital personality and reputation, especially if you are trying to move forward in life. You want to align your personality, your online personality and reputation with your objectives. It's very important. For example, let's say you were trying to be promoted at work. You want to move up the ranks at work, and you have on Facebook and other social media some kind of pictures you took when you were in college, right? When you were 18 years old or 20 years old. Now, these pictures might be of an era where you were a little more, I would say more playful, but the new you wouldn't want to be compatible with that old you. So you have to pay attention to your personality and reputation as it exists online and how you're trying to reconcile that with your offline life. Now, there are several ways to sort of clean up if you have some little issues that are out there, lingering out there on the internet, and that sort of are deleterious to your reputation. There are ways to clean that up. Now, we have dedicated an entire show to that topic. You might want to double check in our database to see how you can polish your online reputation. Factor number 2, digital literacy. Now, digital literacy means you have to be familiar with how your devices function, right? You want to be informed. You want to learn the key functions and features of your devices, as well as the software, right? And the apps, by the way, And the reason why you want to do this is if you don't know the tools that you have in your hands, how can you protect yourself? Right? So you want to really understand all the tools that you have, all the tools at your disposal, so you can prevent and mitigate any threat. Right? Now, I'm talking about the privacy settings on social media accounts. Right? If you have other public accounts, the same applies. You also want to be aware of your digital footprint. Right? You want to learn how to search for yourself and your children online. It's very important. Children online, you want to see what kind of info is readily available to anyone that knows your name, and again, that knows your last name. If they know your last name, they probably know your children's last names too. But the idea here is to be digitally literate, so that you can take the proper actions to cover yourself, to cover your back and your children's backs. Right? We're preparing an entire show on digital bullying, how to talk about your children about bullying online, and so I'm not going to spend too much time here about the topic. The third factor you want to pay attention to is digital laws and regulations, right? Now, everybody thinks on, the internet is this sort of big no man's land where, everything is permitted, right? Because it is not monitored or governed by a specific country, by a specific entity, right? Now, this could be true for now, right? But nobody knows what will happen 5 years from now or 10 years from now. Regardless, you want to make sure that as a citizen, the law still applies when you are online. What I'm trying to say is, if you are a U.S. citizen, for example, simply because you're doing stuff on the internet doesn't mean that you cannot be sued and prosecuted in real life, right? So activities that break the law offline, right, also apply online. For instance, something that is damageable to other people's identity, right? If you steal people's IP, so intellectual property, if you hack into other people's information, if you download illegal media, if you plagiarize, if you send spam with malicious purposes, right? If you create malware, all of those things are very important, and all of those things are crimes both offline and online. Another thing you want to be cognizant of when it comes to digital laws and regulations is e-commerce laws, right? You want to be familiar with that when it comes to being a seller. So if you are engaged in e-commerce, if you have an online store, you want to be familiar with the key e-commerce laws that apply in your sector. And if you are a buyer, you want to be cognizant of the basic online shopping laws. All right, I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi. We are still continuing our conversation around the 9 key factors you should know to fully enjoy your online experience, especially when it comes to becoming a good digital citizen. Now, if you love the content so far, please consider subscribing to our channel and turn on the notification bell. And also, please like this content, share, and comment below. What does digital citizenship mean to you? We want to speak your mind and let us know. Number 4, digital commerce. Now, I spoke earlier about e-commerce, and now I want to break it down more. Nowadays, and this is not something that a lot of people can debate on, a large share of the economy is based online, right? So you have advantages and disadvantages to e-commerce, right? So you want to be able to understand the risks and benefits that come with e-commerce. And I'm talking about educating yourself about the different types of payments that can be processed online and which are the safest, right? From PayPal to your own bank account to Payoneer to all those platforms. And now we have the mobile payments platforms. So it's very important as a good digital citizen that you educate yourself about the payment platforms that you use. You also want to learn about how to determine a secure connection between a personal device and a company website, right? And how do you do this? You do this by learning what SSL certificates are and how to recognize them. Number 5, digital rights and responsibilities. Okay, now when it comes to the internet, everybody believes that you can do whatever you want to do. Now, it might be true in some cases, but digital citizens also have the right to privacy and free speech. Now, that privacy and free speech is as applicable as it is as applicable to online citizens as it is to offline citizens. I believe they are the same people. I mean, people don't go on the internet and change their personality. I mean, they might change their personality, but not their legal identity, right? So the internet is a powerful tool, and with that power comes great responsibility, right? Nowadays we're talking about online privacy, right? This is a big deal. The government is really paying attention to it, and they are doing the right thing, because we've seen a lot of big data breaches hitting mainstream media in the last few years, right? I'm not even start talking about children's privacy, right? That part is even more sensitive. Right now we have the COPA laws and all of those all the legislative framework that helps prevents the vulnerable of our society from online predators, right? So when it comes to being a good digital citizen, you have to understand that companies are also responsible. They also have some kind of responsibility when it comes to safeguarding consumers' data, right? So and it makes sense that they are held responsible when their safeguards fail. All right. Number 6, digital decorum. Now this is very important. When it comes to online communication, various platforms require a certain kind of etiquette, right? You want to familiarize yourself with the particular platform you will be talking on, because some platforms need more appropriate behavior and language than others, right? For instance, if you go on YouTube or Twitter, you're not speaking the same way as you would on LinkedIn, right? Or on Facebook. Now, it's very important that you customize your voice to the platform you're using, right? And you want to make sure that you're not posting information about others without their permission. For instance, if you want to tag someone on Facebook, you want to first reach out to the person to make sure that he or she is okay with being tagged, right? The thing here is that if everybody were to play the game, if everybody were to comply with digital decorum, there will probably fewer cyberbullies out there, right? So the education starts from the self. The education starts from the individual. All right, I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi. We're still continuing our conversation today about the 9 key factors you should know to fully enjoy your online experience as a digital citizen. Number 7, digital security. Now, this is the big word, right? I mean, we live in a world where you have cyber thieves, you have identity thieves, cyber criminals, scammers, hackers, all kinds of bad guys out there who are trying to create mischief, right? So if you are a good digital citizen, you need to protect your information. You need to safeguard your personal data from cyber criminals, right? So one thing you want to do is, when it comes to accessing the internet, you want to install a comprehensive internet security solution on your device, right? Because this kind of programs can help you from hidden. They can help you protect your data, your business data. They can safeguard your data from unsafe websites, malicious files, phishing scams, social media scams, and more, right? And how do you do this? You also want to use strong, difficult to guess passwords, right? Alphanumerical always work. You want to update your software as soon as updates are released by the manufacturer, right? You want to back up your data so that if there is a catastrophe and you accidentally spill coffee on your laptop, or ransomware takes hold of your hard drive, if you perform backups on a regular basis, your data will be safe. All right. Number 8, digital wellness. Now, the digital wellness is very simple here. It means that the tools that you have, the smartphone, the computer, don't use it against you, right? This is a productivity tool that has improved our lives in the last 40 years. But nowadays, unfortunately, you have addiction, and addiction is creating the problems. People are taking their phones, even in the bedroom, in the bathroom, everywhere. They're constantly glued to that screen. So you want to really be aware of the digital wellness aspect of things. As a good digital citizen, you want to understand that using your devices constantly can have a detrimental physical impact on your body, right? I'm talking about problems such as back problems, vision problems, carpal tunnel, right? So you want to basically understand how to reduce the impact on your body. For instance, you want to take frequent breaks to reduce eye strain, right? Don't look down at your device too long, and make sure your workstation at your workstation at work or at home is ergonomically proper. Another thing you can do also is that you want to step away from your devices in your free time, and you want to go get some fresh air and sunbeams, right? Instead of LED lights. Number 9, digital communication. And this is key. Now, when I'm talking about communication, I'm referring to chat, text messages, direct messages, emails, instant messaging, right? Now, those forms of communication have gained significant popularity in the last 10 years. However, there are some risks that come with this sort of convenience, right? So you want to learn what data is appropriate and which data is not appropriate to share through specific digital channels, right? Because remember that with a click of a button, you can accidentally share sensitive information. So you want to be very cognizant of the platform you're using to communicate, whether it is a public platform such as a social media or a website, or private such as a USB key. You want to be sure that you understand the ins and outs of what personal data you're publishing. And this will make you a great digital citizen. Now, folks, we have reached the end of today's conversation. Now, let's just quickly recap today's conversation. Digital Citizenship Guide: 9 key factors you should know to fully enjoy your online experience. And here are the 9 key factors: digital personality and reputation, digital literacy, digital laws and regulations, online commerce, online rights and responsibilities, digital decorum, digital security, digital wellness, and online communication. Thanks so much for listening to me. I will see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.